take my hands now.
Let me tell you, I did not want to start my day. I did not want to start my day by my cats screaming at me because they were out of food. I have an automatic cat feeder. They ran out this morning and they did not like that. So at like 6, they started screaming at me and I tried to go back to sleep and I just realized it's not going to go happen. So I'm running to Kroger. I'm sorry if my words aren't making sense. It's early and I'm tired and I'm grumpy. But I'm going to Kroger to get the cat food, and then while I'm at Kroger, I might as well grab the stuff I need for the apple pie I'm making for Thanksgiving because I can't imagine it's going to slow down at Kroger more than it is right now.
As time goes by, I'm a raindrop on a blue coat. As time goes by, as time goes by, I'm a blink.
Let's talk dinner. I'm gonna get some jasmine rice going. I've got these microwavable stir-fry veggies. And then I'm gonna pop one of these in the air fryer. I have only ever seen these at Sam's Club. If you have a Sam's membership, this chicken slaps so hard. I always, if I'm cooking some sort of Asian inspired dish, I always put ground ginger in the rice. And I put like extra. I love ginger. If I had some actual ginger, I would do it that way, but I don't. I have moved to the bedroom to get serious and finally read. It's just been a day. I meant to get so much more reading in than I did, which obviously makes me scared about finishing the books now. But I wanted to show you guys something. So several weeks ago, it was my YouTube Instagram friend Sam's birthday. She's a Spark of Sam, a Spark of Sam's library. So my friend Sam has her own Etsy shop and does local markets, and it's called Willow Star Market. And it was her birthday sprints, and she sent the hosts on her birthday sprints presents. So I got a little gift in the mail today, and it just made me so happy. So she asked about like what kind of things I might like. Y'all, she made me a Hufflepuff mug. Isn't that the cutest thing? I am a Hufflepuff, but that wasn't the only thing. There's 2 stickers, 2 bookish stickers, which I think I need to find some room for on my Kindle. This one says Dearest Reader. This one says Once Upon a Time. And then this one says Create a Spark. She's a Spark of Sam, so I thought this one was really cute. I kind of want to put it on my work computer. And then also a Hufflepuff metal bookmark, which I'm going to use in Tower of Dawn while I do my tandem read. But she is the sweetest person. Please go look at all of her stuff on Willow Star Market. She's got an Instagram, Etsy, TikTok, and Facebook. So please go check her out. Her stuff is so well made. Like, I would have been convinced that this was like made at Barnes & Noble. It's really, really sturdy and really nice quality, and I already cannot wait to have a morning cup of tea in my Hufflepuff mug, so I'm really excited. Good morning, friends. It is now Wednesday, and I've decided to combine yesterday's vlog and today's vlog together just for my own well-being, and also, like, not a lot happened yesterday. So, unfortunately, I'm not very far into the tandem read. I'm gonna keep reading it. Hopefully, I can get through it with the rest of my Thanksgiving break, but I have less than a week now. We're just gonna keep reading and keep trucking along, and I'm gonna finish it when I finish it, but I'm really enjoying it right now. Before I start talking about books, let's talk about what's happening today. So, first thing, in about an hour, I am going to meet my teacher reader besties, 2 out of 3 of them, because we are going to get Mexican and talk Iron Flame and spoilers and theories. We're gonna have Mexican and discussion and chips and salsa, and it's gonna be great. And then I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and read for a little bit because I'm meeting somebody at that coffee shop later in the afternoon to pick up some plushies I made for her, the axolotl and the mallard that I made earlier this week. And there's also sprints with Liv tonight, so in between cooking we'll also be doing some more reading. Amanda has also just started the tandem read, so Lots going on right now, but let's get reading. Let me first say something about Sarah J. Maas. Love it. I loved ACOTAR. If you go back and look at my rating though, I did give the first one a 3.5, but they got better for me as we went on. I have read the first Crescent City. I'm gonna read the second one in January. I'm up to book 5 in Throne of Glass. But here is 2 things that drive me crazy about Miss Sarah. Why do her characters stick their tongues out at people? You are a world-renowned, feared assassin, battle lord, whatever it is that you are. And when somebody says something you don't like, you just go, like, no, honey, you don't do that. You're not 4. So that bothers me just a little bit. And I guess it wouldn't bother me if it only happened once, but the frequency with which it happens does bother me. And then the next one is just a phrase that she uses a lot. Something will piss one of the characters off and she'll just go, and she gave him a vulgar gesture. It's the phrase, a vulgar gesture. It is everywhere. It's kind of like how in Wheel of Time, not Brandon Sanderson, I haven't gotten to those yet. Robert Jordan constantly has Nynaeve pulling on her braid, or the women are crossing their arms in front of their bosoms. Like, it's just these overused phrases that start to grate on my nerves. But what we lack in our diversity of explaining a vulgar gesture, we make up for in a very intense, wonderful plot. And I'm just very scared for all of our characters right now. So let's keep reading.
Take my
I'm taking a break to watch Lessons in Chemistry because the new episode is out. One of my favorite books of the year, and I am loving the show. Parts of it are going in a slightly different direction, but the heart of the show is 100% the same, and I love it. So, taking a little break. We'll get back to reading soon. Not me getting emotional at a show about chemistry and 1960s cooking. What the heck? And I already knew what was gonna happen. I read the book. So we are now in the kitchen where the terrible lighting is, but we're about to make apple pie for Thanksgiving. So the recipe comes from this cookbook, which you cannot purchase. This is a family cookbook. I think I have one of the last bound copies that was made, so it's super special. I kind of want to get it rebound with like laminated pages because as you can see, it has been used and abused and loved. So I need to figure out some way that I can do that. But it is the recipe in here that is called Karen's apple pie. Karen was my great aunt. And there's a recipe for both the pie and the crust. And I make it all from scratch. And truthfully, this is more of a apple cobbler pie than it is a pie because there's no like lattice or anything on it. But it is legitimately one of the best pies. And you know, I'm gonna be honest about that. Truthfully, anything from this cookbook is one of the best. And you can't argue with me about that. But I make this pie every single year for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to find it. You would think I would just open up to it because it's like my most cooked thing in here. I need to bookmark it, really. Okay, I found it. And guys, this is how loved this recipe is. Please look at these pages. This is my most cooked recipe. And because I'm nice and we don't gatekeep around here, I'm going to share this recipe with y'all. So I'm gonna try and get it put on like a little Canva slide and share it because it is 1, really easy, and 2, it's just delicious. So the first thing that we have to do is gather our ingredients. So I have done that. Sugar, flour, butter, vinegar, cinnamon, and Granny Smith apples. And the first thing that we need to do is get to chopping the apples. And y'all know my hands are kind of killing me from crocheting, so this process is going to be not the easiest as it normally is, but it is so worth it. So let's chop some apples and get to cooking. All right, we got the apples chopped. So you're gonna get a big bowl of apples. It's very helpful to keep some sort of bag or a bowl handy for all of your apple peel trash. So we're going to dispose of this. We're gonna get working on mixing up the apples and then making the crust. Super fun. Now this recipe is gonna say that you use 1/2 cup of sugar, but if you're from the South, you know that we measure with our heart, and this is going to be split between 2 pies, so we're just going for a full cup, and you just dump that in there. Dump it into your apples. And then it also says that you're going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Again, we measure with our heart, and we just kind of top our apples off. So this is what your filling should look like. You can always taste test a piece of the apple to make sure it's spiced and sugared, you know, appropriately. I can confirm that is what it's supposed to taste like. Also, you might notice that a few of my apples still have a little bit of the peel on them. That's okay. You're just trying to get most of the peel off. Now for the crust, you are not going to want to skip making the homemade crust because it balances perfectly with the like tartness and the sweetness and the spiciness of the apples. So for 1 crust, you're gonna want 1 2/3 cups of flour, a stick of butter. I cheated and microwaved mine for a second to soften it up. 1 teaspoon of vinegar, and then also 1 teaspoon of ice water. Now I have never asked my family why ice water is appropriate, but it's in the recipe, so it's what we do. I just fill up a cup with ice and water and let it get cold. We dump that all in, and then you cut the flour with the butter. And if you need to add more, you add more, but we just press this all together until it gets mealy. And y'all, I do own like actual mixing bowls, but they're being used for other things right now. So I know this is pitiful and like not what a 30-something-year-old should have in their kitchen to make this, but it's what's happening right now. So one of the truly beautiful things about this recipe is your pie crust isn't going to look perfect, and it's not really supposed to because it just comes out more rustic. Like these are what mine look like, and it's totally fine. You make it so like it's mealy, and then you just press it into your pan. Now, if you want to take the time to flute the edges and everything, you can, but it is absolutely not required. So now that we have that, we're going to take our apple mixture and we're just going to distribute it between the 2 pies, and then I'll show you what comes next. And last but not least, we are going to make the kind of cobbler crumble topping, and all that calls for is butter and flour and sugar. You mix it together and then you just lay it out on top and you bake it for an hour. And they're done. Again, these are more kind of like cobbler crumble pies, so the crust presentation is not the most important thing here. I can guarantee you that my house smells amazing and that these pies are going to get gobbled up tomorrow. And y'all, I didn't realize that the episode of Lessons in Chemistry that I watched was the last one, and it had me all up in my feels. As a mathematician, and as that, it touched me. I know she's not a mathematician, but chemists have to also be mathematicians, and just like women in STEM period just is very inspiring. And just her journey of seeing her personality become more warm and welcoming, and that was something I don't know that the book quite touched on as much as the show did, and I just thought that it was beautiful. I thought that the additions they made to the show made sense. They weren't just thrown in there to be thrown in there, and I really liked it. If you haven't read the book, first of all, go read the book. If you've read the book and you haven't watched the series yet, Apple TV, go do it. It's perfection. Brie Larson killed it. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. It is November 23rd. I think that's the day Thanksgiving falls on this year. I've been on break this week, so I truthfully don't know what day of the week it is. Didn't really do anything to my hair today. I'm going to my brother's. We're just going to be comfy cozy all day. So I just got one of my little Happy Headband Co. headbands on, and we put some makeup on so we don't look completely dead. But I made pies last night. I'm about to pack up all of my stuff and head over to my brother's for the day. My dad is also there, and my sister-in-law. and my best friend might come by later, and we're just gonna have a day of food and family and football and playing Mario Party. I'm bringing some crocheting. I'm bringing my Sarah J. Maas books, and like I said yesterday, I don't really know how much I'll film because obviously the point of being over at my brother's is not to make content, it's to hang out with my family. But if the inspiration strikes, I might pull out the phone. I want to start crocheting a Grinch today. I think that would be so much fun. And there was a pattern that went on sale from Tailored Crochet, I think that's her name, for like $2.43 for a baby Grinch today. So I'm going to bring some yarn over to make that. I actually bought a couple of patterns today. I bought a Grinch, an elephant, and a dragon. So I'm excited about making all of those. My wrists feel better. And originally I was like, I'm not going to bring crochet over on Thanksgiving because it's like family time. But when we're watching football, I can crochet then. So I'm going to get going and see y'all at some point today.